Okay, I think we might be coming around live anytime now.
If you manage a team,
Hi guys, how is everyone doing? I think I'm live. Yes, I am. All right. Okay, let me just make sure we're all here. Hello guys, good to see everyone. I am happy to see that people are already here. People are already participating in the live chat. First and foremost, Shashidharan Karthikeyan, thank you very much for the super chat. I really appreciate it. Even before the live stream started, thank you very much. All right, guys, welcome to the live stream. I wanted to do one of these for a while because we haven't had the opportunity to talk live with each other for a while. And the show recently hit 100,000 subscribers, so I just wanted to come on live and thank all of you personally for that as well. You know, your support means a lot to me, means a lot to the show, means a lot to whatever we're trying to accomplish here. If you guys have any questions, I would be happy to answer those for you as well. I see there's a lot of questions already. Wow. Let's see. Let's see. Congratulations, Sham. Thank you there. Thank you, Ashish Gokhale. Thank you, Sidhu Tex Online. Thank you, Jyotirmay Patel. Thank you, Nupur Tiwari. Vignesh Shankar, when are you coming to India? I'm hoping this year. I'm hoping this year sometime in November, December. If it does happen, I'll probably be in Delhi. If it does happen, I'd like to meet some of you guys. You know, hopefully, I'll try to organize some kind of a meetup. So yeah, hopefully November, December this year for sure. Okay. Nishant Chauhan, thank you very much for the super chat. Really appreciate it. Thank you very much. Hi Sham bhai. Hello Nishant. Is it lagging for everyone or just me? I don't know. It doesn't seem to be lagging for me. We'll see. Anjan Ghosh, your height. My height. I am 6'3". That's my height. 6'3". Okay. Rajan Singh, is India heading towards a civil war? Well, that's a tough one, man. I don't know the answer to that question because the thing is, the way the country has voted for the past two elections, in a lot of cases, if you look at India, they've voted across caste lines. So it looks like the country is starting to move away from caste-based issues. Obviously, caste is still a very important factor in Indian politics, but if we look at the Lok Sabha elections and how the Lok Sabha elections have panned out over the past couple of elections, it looks like people are starting to look more towards economic issues, development issues, rather than caste issues. And I hope that trend continues in terms of religious intolerance, in terms of the religious differences that exist between people in India, between Hindus and Muslims particularly. I mean, I sure hope that there's no civil war. I don't hope that is something like that ever happens. You know, we'll need to have some real truth and reconciliation, and that's what I feel like the liberals of the country need to realize, that we need to have some serious truth and reconciliation between the Hindu and the Muslim communities. We need to understand what happened to the Hindu community and what happened to the Hindus during Muslim rule, how they were mistreated, and we also need to openly discuss some of the ideology that the Muslim community possesses and how that ideology is not compatible with a secular democratic society. And unless we determine these things, unless we openly discuss these things, I don't think we're going to go anywhere positive. So some discussion is already starting to happen, and I hope these kinds of discussions continue. So yeah, I mean, is India moving towards a civil war? I don't know, and I certainly don't hope so. Right. What else? What else? There's a lot of questions. I'm trying to take whatever I can see. Right. Let's see here. Bro, say my name please. Food Good Company. Area 47.8. That's from him. Okay, what kind of music do I like? That's an interesting one. I like Bollywood music because it's in my DNA. I grew up listening to Bollywood music, so I obviously love Bollywood music. My father is a huge fan of 60s Bollywood music. So, huge fan of Muhammad Rafi, Kishore Kumar, people like that. So, I grew up listening to a lot of current Bollywood and I grew up listening to a lot of 60s Bollywood, especially that 60s decade. So, I like a lot of that. I grew up listening to a lot of rock. That's probably my favorite genre. I listen to a lot of 90s bands like the grunge bands, and a lot of other 90s bands like Foo Fighters and Smashing Pumpkins and Stone Temple Pilots and like that. I listened to a lot of new metal as well when I was growing up. I'm not ashamed to admit it. A lot of people are. So, yeah, I mean, rock and roll and I would say Bollywood are my two favorite genres. What? Let me know in the comments. Let me know in the live chat. What are your favorite music genres or music bands? Let me know. Sham ji jai ho. Ganesh ji aapki bhi jai ho. Asu Jail, I love your episodes. Thank you very much, Asu. I really appreciate it. Uh, Bro, ever thought about doing a podcast? Deepansh Singh, that's a very good question. And yes, I have. I've been thinking about it for a very long time. I want to start a regular podcast series, and initially I was thinking that I would do. Initially, I was thinking that I would do like a solo podcast where I come online and I just talk about the issues that happened that week. But I'm also thinking about getting maybe a co-host for the podcast. And two things I want to do. I want to do a podcast where I talk about things that are happening जो इंडिया में चीज़ें हो रही हैं. दूसरी चीज़ I also want to do is I want to I have an interest in American politics and international politics, and I think Hindu interests or Hindu culture needs to be communicated well with an audience that is not from India, also, with an audience in America, with an audience in the West. I think there are people in the West and in Europe, in the United States, that will be understanding, that will be very welcoming to Hindu concepts of tolerance, of Sarva Dharma Sambhava, things like that. But these issues have not been communicated well to them, and there's often a lot of fake news, there's often a lot of falsehoods. काफ़ी झूठ फैलाया गया है वेस्टर्न मीडिया के द्वारा, वेस्ट में, अमेरिका में, इंडिया का जो नेटिव कल्चर है उसके बारे में. तो उस झूठ को भी ख़त्म करने का, उस झूठ को भी कॉम्बैट करने की ज़रूरत है. सो आई वॉन्ट टू ऑल्सो मेक अ पॉडकास्ट दैट इज़ फोकस्ड ऑन American news and how Hindus are portrayed in the West. So I'm hoping to find some kind of a co-host for that. If I don't find a co-host, if I don't find someone that's that I feel like I can do a show with, then I might just start doing it on my own. I have to set a deadline for it though. I'm hoping that by September, October, the podcast is up and running and I'm doing like a regular podcast. So, good question, Deepansh. Thank you for your question. And yeah, definitely keep an eye out for the podcast because that'll be happening this year for sure. Yaman Sharma, do you have abs? Abe, I have one pack abs. Some people have six packs, some people have eight packs. I have one pack. So I'm not fat. I don't think I'm fat, but yeah, normal size. Aditya Chaudhary, can you interview the apostate on your channel? I've already actually spoken to apostate prophet earlier on my channel. I'm gonna be talking to him again. Actually, I have some issues that I need to discuss with him. I am hoping to do a couple of podcasts, particularly around the elections, US, and about a couple of other issues. So Israel has a right to exist. I think that Israel is living or existing in a very dangerous neighborhood. And I think that to exist in that very dangerous neighborhood, to exist in a neighborhood where all the countries around them want them to be wiped out, all the countries around them want them to die, all the countries around them want them to be obliterated, I think some of the steps that Israel has to take, one can completely understand. Secondly, there are many lessons that I think there are to learn for India from Israel, particularly when it comes to agriculture. We're noticing that many parts of India are becoming arid or semi-arid. Even in Bihar, which is one of the most fertile areas of India, which is where I'm from. I'm from Bihar. And if you look at Bihar as well, there are areas in Bihar which are becoming semi-arid, which was unbelievable to somebody like who grew up like my father or his father. My grandfather can't believe that some areas of Bihar are becoming semi-arid. So when the climate is changing like that, when the topography is changing like that, I think there are lessons to learn about how to maximize your agricultural output and how to make agriculture more efficient the way the Israelis have done that. There's a lesson to learn there. I think there's a lesson to learn in terms of how the Israeli intelligence agencies operate. Because I think, I don't know much about the Indian intelligence agencies, but I'm sure there are some lessons to be learned when it comes to the Israeli intelligence agencies, because their intelligence agencies are very good. In terms of the problems with Israel, there are problems in terms of the settlements. That there are settlements that they are building that are displacing Palestinians, and obviously that's, in some cases that might be justified. In a lot of cases, it's not. So I have a problem with the settlements that Israel is doing as well. I don't necessarily think that it's fair to displace Palestinians in terms of those settlements, but generally speaking, I have a positive view of Israel. I think that they're just trying to survive. They're just trying to live their lives, and they live in a very difficult neighborhood. So they have to take some difficult steps. What else? Congratulations on 100K. Can you do an episode on Greek polytheists like you did for Romovas in Lithuania? Sonu Kanan. Hi, Sonu. Definitely. I actually have been meaning to, and I got lazy, man. Sorry, but I've been meaning to invite some European pagans onto my show, and I've been trying to look for some Hellenic pagans, from Greece, who are trying to practice their ancient Hellenic traditions, and I'm trying to get them on my show for a podcast. So if you guys, I'm been trying to find some people, but if you guys know some, or do you know if there's a channel that somebody runs who's like a Greek pagan or a Hellenic pagan who practices their pagan traditions, let me know in the comments, in the comment section. So if I'll go check out their channel and I'll go check them out, and if I find them interesting, I'll definitely invite them on my show for a chat. So if you know someone, definitely let me know who's practicing those Greek Hellenic traditions. All right. Udit Singh, what is your profession? So apart from the show, I work as an event manager, Udit, for a company where I handle large scale events for Fortune 500 companies. All right. Sidhu Tex Online, where are you from? Sidhu, as I said, I'm from Bihar. I was born in Bihar, I was raised in Bihar, and I lived in Delhi for about 10 years as well. Okay. What else? How can we... Sharda Prasad. Bro, what do you think? How we can bring the truth about the actuality of India's narrative in our education system, which talk about our great Vedas and our rich culture? That's something, again, that's something that we as an electorate, हमने दो बार, Sharda, we have voted for the BJP. The people of India have voted for the BJP, right? In large numbers. Both years, both elections, BJP got a record number of seats. So it is now up to the electorate to decide what is important for you. Now, I understand economic issues are very important, and they should take precedence in India where there's a large percentage of poor people and we need to bring those poor people out of poverty. So that is very important. Uske upar se we also have to decide what else is important for us. Is actually the education system important? If it is important, then we should be demanding this from the local MPs. Sharda, if you live in, I don't know which area of the country that you live in, but whatever area of the country that you live in, you need to reach out to your MPs, to your local elected BJP MPs and your MLAs, and you have to talk to them. You have to call them, you have to reach out to them, email them, go to their office, whatever. But reach out to them and tell them that these issues, the issue of fixing the education system, the issue of teaching correct history in our textbooks, the issue of teaching about India's civilization in our textbooks to our children is very important. If it is important to you, and I'm talking not just to Sharda, but I'm talking to everyone here. If it is important to you guys, all of you, then you need to be calling your your elected member of parliament, and you need to tell them. You need to call them, every month. Call them and tell them, "Ki yaar, what are you doing to fix the education system? What are you doing? Because this is what we voted for." If the MPs, if the member of parliaments are going to start hearing from across the country that यार हर पूरे देश से हमें फ़ोन कॉल आ रहा है, पूरे देश से हमें मेल आ रहा है, पूरे देश से हमारे लोग, हमारे ऑफिस में लोग आकर कह रहे हैं कि आप टेक्स्ट बुक फिक्स करो, टेक्स्ट बुक फिक्स करो, टेक्स्ट बुक फिक्स करो, तब उनको पता चलेगा ना कि भाई ये चीज़ ज़रूरी है. राइट नाउ वी टॉक अबाउट इट इन आर्टिकल्स, वी टॉक अबाउट इट ऑन ट्वीट्स, वी टॉक अबाउट इट ऑन दिस एंड दैट. But the MPs will not know till we tell them personally. So if you want this thing to change, and the BJP government has done a very good job in terms of bringing people out of poverty, but when it comes to these cultural things, if you want these things to change, we need to make sure that we let the elected members know personally. So give them a call, shoot them an email, let them know every month that these things are important and what are you doing to fix these things. That is, in my opinion, the best approach. All right. Abhimanyu Singh. Sorry, Abhimanyu, just lost your question. There was a bunch of questions that came at the same time. Vignesh Sarkar, I was into black metal and death metal during college. Dude, you're hardcore, man. But now I'm into EDM and house. Metal scene is huge in India now. That's good to hear. That's really good to hear. Okay, Sonu Kanan. I'm going to write this down. Hold on, Sonu. Angelo Nasios on YouTube. He's a Hellenist. Although his channel has 2 videos on Hellenism. You may or may not be interested in the channel. I could check it out. Definitely. I'm always interested in talking to other, people who are still practicing their ancient traditions or who are still following their ancient traditions. So I'll definitely check out Angelo Nasios. Definitely check him out. Ved, sir, when are you going to interview Ved Veer Arya? I don't know Ved Veer Arya, Raghavar Voltor. Do you know who Ved Veer Arya is? Can somebody tell me who he is? Maybe I've heard of him, but I can't remember right now. आकाश सिंह, हार्डकोर के बारे में कुछ बोलो सर. अरे क्या बोले हार्डकोर के बारे में यार. उसका एक गाना हमें याद है, बड़ा फेमस हुआ करता था बीच में, क्या 10-15 साल पहले, आई थिंक. नहीं, इतना भी नहीं, 10 साल पहले आई थिंक. एक गाना उसका बड़ा फेमस हुआ करता था, 1 गलासी 2 गलासी 3 गलासी 4. एक उसका एक गाना हुआ करता था. But that's all I know about hardcore. Other than that, what I know about hardcore is apparently Instagram पे hardcore जी जाके काफ़ी नौटंकी पेलती रहती हैं, योगी आदित्यनाथ को गालियाँ देती रहती हैं, बीजेपी गवर्नमेंट को गालियाँ देती रहती हैं. अब देखिए, what I think about hardcore being booked for sedition, I don't agree with it. I don't agree that she should be booked for sedition. Because the thing is यार, अगर कोई politician को गालियाँ दे रहा है, अगर कोई politician के बारे में झूठ बोल रहा है, if somebody is spreading lies about you, they should not be booked for sedition. इंडिया में लाइबल लॉज हैं. लाइबल का मतलब हुआ जब आपके बारे में कोई झूठ फैला रहा है, जब आपको कोई डिफेम करने की कोशिश कर रहा है. अगर कोई योगी आदित्यनाथ को रेप योगी करके बुला रहा है, So this is a lie. This is an attempt to defame him. So he can file a libel case on her. He can file a defamation case on her, which I hope will be a civil case, and he can sue her for money. यार डोनाल्ड ट्रंप से कुछ चीज़ें सीखनी चाहिए हमारे देश में लोगों को. अगर कोई आपके बारे में झूठ फैला रहा है, अगर कोई आपको पसंद नहीं है, अगर कोई अगर आपके बारे में कोई उल्टा सीधा बोल रहा है, देन सू देम. दैट इज वॉट वी शुड बी डूइंग. लोगों को जेल में फेंकने की जो हमारी आदत है कि तुमने ये कुछ बोल दिया जो मुझे पसंद नहीं आया, तो इसके लिए मैं तुम्हें जेल में डाल दूंगा. अगर तुमने योगी आदित्यनाथ को गालियां दी तो मैं तुम्हें जेल में डाल दूंगा. अगर तुमने मोदी को गालियां दी तो मैं तुम्हें जेल में डाल दूंगा. तो आई डोंट थिंक दैट इज करेक्ट. I don't think hardcore should be booked under sedition for this. I think there should be a libel case that should be filed against her, and she should be sued. That's what I think. Now there are still cases for sedition. Like अगर आप भारत तेरे टुकड़े होंगे इंशाअल्लाह कर रहे हैं, अगर आप कह रहे हैं कि छीन के लेंगे आज़ादी, अगर आप कह रहे हैं बंदूक से लेंगे आज़ादी, अगर आप कह रहे हैं भारत से लेंगे आज़ादी, तब आपके ऊपर सेडिशन केस बनता है, क्योंकि आप भारत के टुकड़े करने की खुल्लम खुल्ला बात कर रहे हैं. That is what sedition is. In that case, आपके ऊपर sedition का केस बनता है. So that's my take on the hardcore issue. I don't know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys think as well. What about? Sorry guys, chats come very quickly. Okay, bring on Sanjeev Sanyal. Good point. I definitely want to. He's a person that I want to talk to as well. Anuj Kumar, why and when did you start this channel? I started this channel, I think, beginning of 2018. I think, right? Think so. I think I started this channel beginning of 2018, and I started this channel because I had an interest in talking about Hindu issues. I had an interest in talking about issues that people in India or Hindus in general were facing in India and around the world. And I used to talk to my friends about it, I used to talk to my family about it, but I feel like if you're talking to just 10 people, then how much difference is it making? So I thought, let me try and talk to a camera, let me try and talk to some more people on YouTube, and let's see if they're interested. And it seems like some people are interested, so obviously I'm very, very happy about that. Okay, let's see. There's a super chat just came in from Kaushik Sunil Mohanty. Kaushik, thank you very much for the super chat. I really appreciate it. Thank you for your support. Bhai, could you do something with Act 17 apologetics or the apostate prophet just for fun? Congrats and wish you the very best for your growth. Thank you very much, Kaushik. Definitely I will do that. I just said earlier as well that I'm looking to bring back the apostate prophet for a podcast episode on my channel. I've been meaning to talk to him for a while. So look out for this space in the next couple of weeks. Definitely in the first 2 weeks of July, Kaushik, I will be talking to apostate prophet. Act 17 apologetics is interesting because I haven't watched a lot of his videos. I haven't watched a lot of his content. But I'll definitely look into it. From what I know about Act 17 apologetics is that he's anti-SJW. He makes a lot of anti-SJW content. He makes a lot of anti-Islam content. But I think he's a Christian, right? He's a devout Christian from what I know. And I haven't watched a lot of his videos, so I'll check it out. But from what I understand that he's a devout Christian, which is, it's interesting to me that somebody from a Christian background would go after Islam, because the two ideologies are not very different. So I can understand the attacks that people make on Islam from a Christian background, because a lot of them do that, but most of these attacks don't go all the way. Most of these attacks don't go into the ideology of Islam. Most of these attacks go into certain practices. Most of these attacks go into what kind of a person was Muhammad, what kind of a person was the prophet, because you can make there's a big difference between Jesus, who was a preacher and a hippie kind of guy, and Muhammad, who was a warlord. So those are some of the main differences that people attack Islam with. But when it comes to core ideology is not very different between Christianity and Islam. Christianity and Islam are both things that claim to have the monopoly on the truth. Only they know what the truth is. and there's only one person who knows the truth on earth, Jesus and Muhammad in each case, and nobody else can know the truth apart from Jesus and Muhammad in each case. Anybody else who says that they know the truth apart from these two are wrong, they're false, they're going to burn in hell. So there's a lot of ideological similarities. So yeah, it'll be interesting. I'll go check out Act 7 Apologetics channel as well. I forgot what his name was, but we'll see. All right. Who else? Who else do we have? Atheist turned Christian, really? Wow. Very interesting. Yeah, I'll have to check it out. All right. Indian courts take lots of times. That's very true. Mr. Freshman, what are your thoughts on making Amit Shah the Home Minister? I think it remains to be seen. I mean, he was a very good strategist for Prime Minister Modi, and he's got a very good strategic mind. Amit Shah does, so I think it'll be an interesting choice. I think it'll be very interesting to see how he performs. I have no idea. I have no thoughts on it right now on how Amit Shah being Home Minister is going to be. I think it could turn out to be a very good choice simply because of his mind. He has a very strong strategic mind. So hopefully, in terms of the same strategic mind that he has in political strategy, I hope he can apply to the Home Ministry as well. So we'll see how that pans out. Kaushik, thank you for the super chat again. I appreciate it. Thank you. Yes, he is Christian, but AP pehle bhi kiya tha. Crap. Yeah, I actually did one a few months ago. So if you go down to there's a playlist on my channel, Kaushik. It's called Sessions with Sham Sharma. So if you go down to the Sessions playlist, you'll find him. He's one of the first 10 or 15 that I did. So go check it out. And yeah, I'll be doing one with him as well, and I will be doing one with the Frustrated Indian as well. Definitely, I will reach out to them. That's a very good suggestion. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna start writing down some of these suggestions because you guys are giving me fantastic suggestions, and a lot of the times I'm like, who should I invite? Who should I invite? And I forget. So I'm gonna write down TFI, and I'm gonna check out David Wood's stuff as well. Sajeev Sanyal as well is another good one. All right. See, this is collaboration, guys. We're collaborating. We're working together to find guests for the Sham Sharma show. If you have any other suggestions, please let me know. Or I will write down all the interesting suggestions and I will invite those people to the show. This is what these question and answer sessions are for. Maz Peters, congratulations, Sham. Thank you very much, Maz. Thank you very much for the super chat. Really appreciate it. What else? Oh, there was a question right here. Phil Coulson. Don't you have Avengers to protect? What do you think about the new web series Leela? I haven't seen it yet, actually. I haven't got around to see it. I haven't had the time. I've been really busy during the week and I've been away from the house on the weekends. I've been away traveling, doing stuff. So I haven't had the chance to see it. I've seen the trailer. The trailer looks pretty stupid, if I'm being honest. It's a work of fiction. I understand it's a work of fiction, but this is how Bollywood operates. Bollywood has an old system of Hindu phobia when it comes to Leela, and they talk about how some kind of this Hindu fascist future could come true. Again, it's a work of fiction, so I don't like to shit on things that are works of fiction. I don't like to shit on things that are works of art. The only problem that I have with that show, Leela, is that I don't know if a show like that could be made in India that it focused on Islamic principles. Could a show like this be made in India that is focused on if there was an Islamic theocracy in India and how people would separate people depending on who was part of the Ummah and who was not part of the Ummah? Do the Ummah, get thrown out of the cities and live like zimmis, and do the Ummahs live a better life? Will they make a show about that? I don't know. So that's the thing I will offer. But I will give you a better idea of the show when I watch it. I don't really want to watch it. If I'm being perfectly honest, Phil, I really don't want to watch that show. But if I get around to watching it, because it looks terrible. But if I ever go around to watching it, I'll let you guys know what I think. I'll make a video about it. Uh, Ketan Swaraj, your views on the difference in the litigation culture in India and the USA? That's a very good question, Ketan, and I haven't really looked into it very deeply. My experience in terms of litigation culture has been with, especially with libel laws. Even if you look at something like, I know one example very well, which is the libel laws in India. In the United States, libel laws are civil cases. You know, they're civil laws. But in India, they're civil and criminal. So not only can you get fined, not only can you get sued and get fined, but you will also get thrown in jail. I think that's too much. I think, I think libel should be made a civil case, and I don't think you should necessarily be going to jail or thrown in jail for libel. I don't think so. Sedition is a different case. I'm not conflating the two. I'm not conflating libel and sedition. So these need to be two different cases. But for libel, I don't think people should be going to jail. That's one of the main difference that I've seen. That something for libel, at least people are not thrown in jail in the United States, and I hope we can do that in India as well someday. Poonam, are you BJP? No, I'm not BJP. I'm not affiliated to any political party, Poonam. Uh, let's see. What else? What else do we have here? Oh, there's a question from Roger Vega. Roger, Sham brother, I'm an Indian American. Thank you very much, first of all, for the super chat, Roger. Really appreciate it. Sham brother, I'm an Indian American and I worked as co-chair for the Trump campaign in Texas. I work with a lot of national security groups as well. As a radio show, will be happy to talk if needed. All right, Roger, I'll make a note of that, and I will look into it a little bit better, and I'd be happy to talk about it in the future with you as well. Dharmesh Majithia, please do a podcast with Pushpendra Kulshestra. Very good suggestion, Dharmesh. Pushpendra Kulshestra. Pushpendra Kulshestra. That's a very good suggestion. A lot of people have suggested Pushpendra Kulshestra to me as well. So I will definitely be talking to him. Some people have also suggested Rizwan Ahmed. I don't know a lot about him, but I know a few of his. I went on his Twitter, and he's got some very interesting posts. So that's another one. Really, that's a really good one. Please talk to Rajiv Dikshit, True Gamer. Another good suggestion. Rajiv Dikshit, I can reach out to as well. See, I'm getting so many good ideas. There's fantastic ideas, guys. Thank you very much for the suggestions. So this is from True Gamer, Rajiv Dikshit. See, I'm getting so many fantastic ideas. Thanks, guys. All right, let's see. Who else do we have? Pratik Sahai, can you make a rap battle like Subhash Chandra Bose versus Gandhi or something like that? Bhai, Pratik, I can't rap to save my life. I don't even listen to rap that much. So I don't know if I'll ever be able to do a rap song. I was just telling you guys before, I've always listened to rock and roll and Bollywood. Those are my two go-to places. I listen to a lot of rock and roll and I listen to a lot of Bollywood. Rap I don't know about, but I'm happy to announce that I will be doing another episode of Ye Kya Bakwas Hai, and I want to do it kind of like I'm basically going to be looking at some of the stupid things that people said this week and last week, and I'm going to be making a little bit of a compilation out of that. So I'm going to publish it on Sunday, this Sunday evening, Sunday afternoon. If you guys like it, let me know in the comment section of that video when I upload it. Let me know if you want to see more content like this. Let me know what other kind of content that you want to see as well. Podcast, I got one, so I'm looking to do a lot more podcast September, October onwards, and let me know what other kind of content. So this kind of like a reviewing some of the bakwas that happened during the week is another interesting one that I wanted to do. So let me know if you find that interesting, and let me know if you want to see more of that. Okay. What else do we have here? Kaushik again. Kaushik, thank you for the super chat. Really appreciate it, man. Do you think freedom of speech should be regulated through logic and substantiated legally admissible proof? Um, yes, yes. I believe in speech, free speech in terms of, that we need to look at it in terms of free speech needs to be absolute. I understand both sides of the argument. I generally tend to lean towards the topic, Kaushik, that free speech needs to be absolute. As long as you are not calling for people to be harmed, as long as you're not calling about attacking people, hurting people, harming people, physically, assaulting people or something like that, I think you should be able to say what you need to say. The bad ideas should be able to float to the top, and because we will then be, if we don't shut down free speech, if we don't call it, if we don't prosecute people for free speech, then we will truly be able to discuss ideas in the so-called idea marketplace. Once we're able to discuss these ideas in the so-called ideas marketplace, I am hopeful that the good ideas will float to the top and the bad ideas will sink to the bottom. Because right now, if you look at the way 295A operates in India, 295A was basically created to protect Muslims and protect Islam from criticism. That's why it was created. Now Hindus also use it because they think कि अरे यार, if Islam has a protection, if nobody can criticize Islam, then you can't criticize Hinduism as well. I get that logic. I completely understand that logic. This is why I think that 295A should be completely removed. But I also understand the logic that a lot of people make about 295A, that यार India का जो law and order situation है, it is not to an extent, my bloody headpiece. इंडिया का जो लॉ एंड ऑर्डर सिचुएशन है, it is not to an extent that we can let free flow of ideas happen, because in America the law and order situation is very good, so you can have free flow of ideas happen because nobody's going to show up to your house and beat you up if you say something nasty, generally. But in India the law and order situation is so bad that if you say something, some communities' feelings get hurt, they will show up to your house, they will burn your house, and they will kill you. So I understand the argument that jab tak, till the point that the law and order situation is not improved in India, the kind of free speech that exists in America cannot exist in India. I understand that argument. I don't agree with that argument, but I understand where they're coming from. At the same time, Kaushik, I also think that both of these things can be done at the same time. Like, we can work towards creating a better free speech environment while fixing the law and order situation, because the law and order situation is, there are some things that are very easy. Hire more police people. Simple as that. Right now, I don't know if you guys know this, right now there's a 9 lakh shortage of 9 lakh policemen in the Indian police force. So if we hire 9 lakh policemen, even if we hire 9 lakh policemen, the people, the leftist hain, they will have no place to argue that Modi is not creating jobs. Modi can say, look, I created 9 lakh jobs. So yeah, I think there are some things that we need to address. And in terms of your question, Kaushik, yeah, I think that we need to work at solving the law and order situation, and we need to work towards having absolute free speech in India as well. That is how good ideas, I believe, will float to the top. Everything can be, yes, exactly, Kaushik. Everything, that is exactly what true free speech is. Glad there are more Indians like me. Everything can be criticized based on solid proof. That's what I think as well. So yeah, I completely agree with you there. Roger Vega. Hey, Roger Vega, if you want to get in touch with me as well, make sure to leave a place where I can contact you in the comment section. So just a little reminder for you, don't forget. Somebody sent a super chat, but they retracted their message. I don't know who the super chat is from. But in any case, thank you very much, and I appreciate it. And the reason why I'm able to take super chat questions, guys, is because they show up, more sort of in a different color. So I'm able to see the super chat questions better. I'm able to find them from a crowd of other questions. So if you have a question that you'd like to ask me urgently, uh, put it in a super chat question. It's easier for me to take as well. I'll be taking other questions as well for sure, but super chat questions are usually easier for me to see and answer. Okay, what else do we have here? What other questions do we have here? There's some question about. Please do. Anshul Pundhir. Hi Sham. I know a Pakistani Sindhi Hindu, Veer, who is living in the UK. He wants to talk to you about the abduction conversion of Pakistani Sindhi Hindus. Please do so with Heer. I would love to do that, Anshul. If you know their information, put it in the comment section. Don't put it in the live chat because I might miss it. But if you know how I can contact them, tag me on Twitter. Let me know how I can get in touch with them. Tag me on Facebook. Send me a message on Facebook. Send me an email. My email is in the, should be in the, yeah, my email is in the description as well. So send me an email with his information, and I would love to reach out to him and talk to him about it. So thanks for that, Anshul. Appreciate it. What else? Raghavar Voltor, what do you think about the channel Survive the Jive and his latest video, Aryan Invasion of India, Myth and Reality? I watched it and I actually did a couple of rebuttals of that on my channel as well. I did a couple of podcasts. I did one with Dr. Raj Vedam and I did one with Nilesh Oak. Both of those were to sort of debunk the whole idea that these people came from outside and settled a whole new civilization within a 1,000-year period, or I don't know, something less than that. So yeah, I've already actually seen the video. I've already done a couple of rebuttals on it as a podcast episode, so you can go check those out. I think they're available as a podcast on like iTunes and all of that stuff, and it should be in the Sessions with Sham Sharma playlist as well. So take a look at that. What else do we have here? There were reports that Phil Coulson, there were reports that in 2019 elections, RSS and BJP voters voted for Congress in Kerala to defeat the left. Is Kerala the new Bengal? I don't know about that. I don't know why RSS would not vote and BJP workers would not vote for the BJP. I have not heard I have not heard this news. If you know this news, if you know any articles or if you know any proper evidence that supports this, let me know because I haven't seen anything about it. I feel like if there's an RSS and a BJP worker and there are BJP candidates fighting in Kerala, why not just vote for the BJP ones? I don't know. I haven't heard anything about it. If you know anything about it, if you know any articles or any videos, you can link them in the description as well. Kaushik Sunil Mohanty, collab with Devda Patnaik. Devda Patnaik is an interesting fellow. Personally, I have not talked about Devda Patnaik because I have not read a lot of his work. I have only watched some of his videos. I have read some of his articles, and I have seen some of the things that Rajiv Malhotra and Nityanand Mishra and some other people have discussed about Devdutt Patnaik on Rajiv Malhotra's channel. So I personally am not very fully aware of Devdutt Patnaik's work. I'll have to work a little, I have to read a little bit more on Devdutt Patnaik before I actually do a collab with him or before I actually make a video with him. The couple of articles that I read from Devdutt Patnaik, one or two I agreed with, some I did not agree with. So I'm still pretty split of what I think about Devdutt Patnaik. Again, simply because I don't have all the information, but I'll definitely look into it. He's an interesting character that I feel like I should look into. Yash Kataria, your views on Balochistan. Should India do the same as Pakistan does in Kashmir? I mean, yeah, why not? The thing is, if you're a nation, अगर आप पाकिस्तान हैं, जो अगर आपके पास लोगों को खिलाने पिलाने के पैसे नहीं हैं, अगर आपके पास अस्पताल बनाने के पैसे नहीं हैं, अगर आपके पास नया पाकिस्तान बनाने के पैसे नहीं है, तब्दीली, अगर आपके पास तब्दीली के पैसे नहीं है, और लेकिन आपके पास टेररिस्ट बनाने के पैसे हैं, टेररिस्ट कैंप बनाने के पैसे हैं, कैंपों में टेररिस्टों को ट्रेन करने के पैसे हैं, टेररिस्टों को AK-47 देने के पैसे हैं, you have the money to give them the best weapons, you have the money to give them suicide bombs, you have the money to train them and maintain terrorist camps throughout the country, maintain terrorist organizations throughout the country, then that's your karma. आपका कर्मा यही है कि आपके देश के साथ कुछ भला नहीं होने वाला। इस हिसाब से जब तक आप इस तरह के टेररिस्ट एक्टिविटीज़ बंद नहीं करते, जब तक कश्मीर का जो हिस्सा भारत से लूटा गया है वो कश्मीर को लौटाया, वो भारत को लौटाया नहीं जाता, तब तक पाकिस्तान को कभी भी चैन नहीं आएगा और पाकिस्तान के साथ यही बैंकरप्सी चलती रहेगी। पैसे हैं नहीं इनके पास, पूरी दुनिया आप समझ रही है कि पाकिस्तान किस तरह से टेररिस्ट सपोर्टर देश है, किस तरह से FATF भी इसको ब्लैक लिस्ट करने की बात कर रही है, और इमरान खान जो है वो हर जगह कटोरा लेके घूम रहे हैं कि भैया कुछ दे दे अल्लाह के नाम पे। तो समझ जाइए, आई थिंक इंडिया शुड रिस्पॉन्ड इन काइंड. अगर if there are people that are interfering in Kashmir, which is an integral part of India, then I think India has the right to respond in kind. Okay. Abhay Dobaria. I hope I said your last name correctly. Abhay. Why policies of Narendra Modi are getting inclined towards Muslims? Do you agree? This is an interesting one also, Abhay, because I saw the 100% the 100% not reservation, but I think it was a tuition support that the government is offering to Muslim women and Muslim kids and stuff like that. I don't think it's 100% a horrible thing. I don't think it's 100% a bad thing, because I also believe that it is an interesting step. It is an interesting step because what the government is trying to do, the government is trying to take back control of the madrasas and what is taught in the madrasas from Saudi Arabia. So what the government is trying to do, we will support you, we will fund you, we will help you, but you have to teach science, mathematics and other secular curriculum in madrasas. You cannot teach simply Islam में सब कुछ math, science, physics सब कुछ है कुरान में. You cannot teach that. और अगर गवर्नमेंट इसमें दखल अंदाजी नहीं करेगी या फिर अगर गवर्नमेंट इसमें इंटरवीन नहीं करेगी और मदरसों पे आंख नहीं रखेगी, तो इन मदरसों में पैसा आता रहेगा सऊदी अरेबिया से और रेडिकलाइजेशन बढ़ता रहेगा. सो आई थिंक इट इज़ एन इंटरेस्टिंग स्टेप. आई मीन इस तरह के जो 100% स्कॉलरशिप्स हैं वो हिंदू SC/STs के लिए भी अवेलेबल है. आई थिंक कुछ हिंदू OBCs के लिए भी अवेलेबल है, बट आई माइट बी रॉन्ग, बट हिंदू SC/STs के लिए डेफिनेटली इस तरह के स्कॉलरशिप्स भी अवेलेबल हैं. तो ऐसा नहीं है कि सिर्फ मुसलमानों के लिए किया जा रहा है. तो आई थिंक इट इज़ एन इंटरेस्टिंग स्टेप. आई थिंक इट कुड बी एन इंटरेस्टिंग स्टेप इन taking control from the Wahhabi funding and the Wahhabi organizations that have control over these madrasas. So I think it could be, I think it could be an interesting step. I think we should watch this for the next 2 or 3 years before we pass judgment on whether it was a good step or whether it was a horrible step. That's just my opinion. That's what I think. Okay. What else? किधर गया? They want Anand Pandey. Anand Pandey ka question hai, Hi Sham, Indian liberals are making a narrative by which they want Hindus to be ashamed of supporting Modi, BJP for the lynching in Jharkhand. These are the same people who say terror has no religion. Okay, Anand, I'm going to answer your question right now, but I see some people are saying that Manish KHC is saying 11 questions on notice, Sham bhai. I'm sorry, Manish. I'm trying to take as many questions as I can. I'm trying to take any questions that I see here because a lot of questions are coming in. Sometimes I'm missing some questions, so I'm not trying to ignore your questions, Manish. If I see your question, I'll definitely try to answer it. Okay, Anand, to your question now. This is nothing new, also, Anand. The part about liberals that are trying to make a narrative by which they want Hindus to be ashamed of supporting Modi. This is not nothing new. पिछले 5 साल छोड़ो, जब मोदी चीफ मिनिस्टर थे तब से जिसने मोदी को सपोर्ट किया है लिबरल उन पे चढ़े हुए हैं. They are like, अरे वाह, how can you support Modi? He's a fascist, he's a murderer, खून का मौत का सौदागर and all that. So this is nothing new. They're trying to do this thing again. When it comes to the lynching in Jharkhand, it was obviously horrible. It was absolutely horrible. And that shouldn't happen in a country like India at all. But the question is that these kinds of lynchings do not just happen to Muslims. The problem is that the narrative that is being created कि यार इस तरह की जो lynchings है ना ये सिर्फ मुसलमानों के साथ होती है. It is only Hindus that are lynching Muslims. That is not true at all. There have been cases where Hindus have been lynched. There was recently a case in Uttar Pradesh where a Hindu was dragged out of his shop and lynched and killed. There was recently a case where a Hindu was celebrating India's win over Pakistan and he was killed and he was burnt and his whole house was burned down by the peaceful community. So these kinds of lynchings and these kinds of murders do not just happen to Muslims, they happen to Hindus as well. So the problem isn't that the Hindu community overnight became fascist. The problem is that there is a genuine law and order situation, law and order problem in our country, and we are not doing anything about it. None of the politicians, none of the political parties don't want to do anything about it. Because अगर उन्होंने लॉ एंड ऑर्डर सिचुएशन को इम्प्रूव कर दिया तो इस तरह की जो लिंचिंग्स हैं वो बंद हो जाएंगी. लिंचिंग्स बंद हो जाएंगी तो हल्ला किस बात पे मचाएंगे भैया. That's the problem. So we like I said earlier, we have a 9 lakh policeman shortage in India, and even then it's going to be 185 policemen per 10,000 people, which is still below the UN recommended number, which is 222 policemen per 10,000 people. So we have a massive police shortage in India. Uske upar se there is criminalization in politics. A lot of politicians unfortunately have criminal cases against them. So what has happened is that the courts have been telling people कि यार politicians का जो control है पुलिस के ऊपर वो हमें कम करना ज़रूरी है. The police needs to be more independent. क्योंकि तकलीफ क्या है कि इतने सारे जो politicians हैं उनके ऊपर criminal cases हैं तो they want the police to not do their job, because if the police will do their job then all these politicians will go to jail. So we have to remove we have to some extent, we have to remove politician control over the police, and we have to hire more police, and we have to equip the police better. These are difficult things that we have to do in the country. But until we don't do these things, these kinds of lynchings will keep happening. These kinds of violence will keep happening. And people will say, oh, this is Hindu fascism. No, you are ignoring the real problem. That's the issue here, that people keep ignoring the real issues. एंड रियल इशू को इग्नोर करने का फायदा ये है ना कि आप आर्टिकल लिख सकते हो, आप वीडियो बना सकते हो, आप तरह तरह की गालियां दे सकते हो हिंदुओं को, लेकिन प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व मत करो. सो वी नीड टू मेक श्योर दैट वी रेज द राइट क्वेश्चंस. द राइट क्वेश्चन इज what is the BJP government doing, what is any elected government doing to fix the law and order issue. That's my opinion. All right, what else do we have here? Shashidharan Karthikeyan, could you please activate the join option? I don't know what the join option is, Shashidharan. Could you tell me a little bit better? First of all, thank you very much for the super chat. I really appreciate the support. But could you tell me what the activate the join option is? I'm not 100% sure, and I'm not very proficient in technology, so I don't really know. Like, what do I can't see any join option here. Emoji, show your support. I don't see the join option. Could anyone tell me what that means? What the join option means? Kramer Cosmo, congratulations on 100K. Bye. Thank you very much, Kramer. Really appreciate it. Raghavar Voltor, what do you think about Sanskrit as the official language of India? I'm all for it. You know, virtually all languages in India borrow something from Sanskrit. Virtually all languages in India trace their ancestry to Sanskrit, or or something like that. And so I think it would be a good way to get over the whole Hindi imposition, Hindi chauvinism argument, uh, which, I'm fine with people not wanting to have official communication in Hindi. I mean, if you look at the European Union, in the European Union, all countries have like all sorts of different languages, and communication, official communication, often happens in, the languages of each individual country. So, I have no problem with each individual state, keeping its language and doing official communication in their language, and it's easily translatable usually. So I have no problem with that, and I have no problem with Sanskrit becoming the official language of India, because I feel like, how would you object to that? What do you say? You can't make the argument of Hindi imposition, because Sanskrit is the mother language for many different languages in India. So yeah, I have no problem with that. All right. Anshul Pudino, okay, I'll try to get his contact details with you on Facebook. Don't forget to check your inbox. Anshul, if you're able to, can you send me an email? Because sometimes I get a lot of messages on Facebook, and sometimes I miss a few messages. So if you don't mind, my email address is in the description. So if you have a genuine question, if you have a genuine suggestion, I would recommend that you send me an email. So Anshul, if you're able to send me an email, that would be ideal. If you send me a Facebook message, I'll try to look out for that as well. Kiran Kumar, does Islam in India need reform? Yes, I 100% agree that it needs reform. I don't think anybody, it doesn't just need reform in India, it needs reform around the world. What they need to do is they need to get rid of the idea that Islam is the only true religion. They need to get rid of the idea that Prophet Muhammad was the only person who had all the truth, all the knowledge of all the truth in the universe. They need to get rid of the idea that whoever does not believe in Muhammad as the prophet and Allah as the God is wrong, is a kuffar, and is going to burn in hellfire. They need to get rid of that idea. They need to get rid of the idea between the difference between ummah and people that are not ummah. They need to get rid of the idea of the zimmi. They need to get rid of all the ideas that create in groups and out groups. That is what Islam needs to do to reform. Now, the argument that people make that if you change all, these are the most fundamental things that make Islam Islam. If you change these things, then whatever is the result is not Islam anymore. And that's fine. But in my opinion, if you need to reform Islam, that is what it needs to look like. Anshul Pundir, okay, I'll email you. Perfect. Thank you, Anshul. Right. He's speaking about the community. Thanks again for the super chat, Kaushik. Appreciate it. He's speaking about the community option for insiders. Just take a look at BB's channel. Who's BB? BB Key Vines, you mean? But I guess it also costs to make that option available. I can look into it. The join option for community option for insiders. Join. This is something that is completely new for me. Join option community insiders. All right. I will take a look at this. I am not very aware of this option, but I'll take a look. What can I do as an Indian to make my country rich? Usain Bolt. Well, one of the things you can do is get an education, get a job, hold on that job, and pay your taxes. That's one of the simplest things you can do. Make sure that you are able to stand on your own 2 feet. Make sure you're able to take care of yourself and your family, and make sure that your whatever money you're able to set aside, pay your taxes, and whatever money that you're able to set aside, contribute back to a cause that you consider worthwhile. Whether it's taking care of orphans, whether it's giving money to people that need it, whether it's providing for a child's education, sponsoring a child's education, whatever cause that you feel, whether it's giving to a Hindu organizations, whether it's giving money to RSS, whatever you cause that you feel is worthwhile, do that. I also encourage people to try to become job makers rather than job seekers. To try to become entrepreneurs. In this day and age, I'm one to talk because I'm not an entrepreneur yet. I'm trying to get there, so I don't really have much of a leg to stand on when I'm talking about this nonsense. But a lot of people say that in this day and age, in the internet age, it's easier than ever to become an entrepreneur and to have your own business. So if you're able to do that, then you should definitely try. And that's just my little nugget. Akash Paramhans, Sham, love from India, bro. Love to you as well, Akash. Thank you. Um, where did the Raghavar Voltor, can you interview Subhash Kak? Another fantastic suggestion. I actually met Subhash Kak. I don't know if you know this, guys. I actually met Professor Kak at the World Hindu Congress. I went to the World Hindu Congress back in September last year, and I met him there. And it was great meeting him, and we talked about bringing him on the show sometime. And so we never really got around to it, but that's a great suggestion, and I definitely want to get Professor Kak on the show as well. SS, which languages do you speak? Oh, okay, Bhuvan Bum. Hang on, I'll make a note of that. Bhuvan Bum. I will take a look. Thanks, Anshul. SS, which languages do you speak? Well, I speak Hindi, I speak English, I speak a little bit of Magadhi, which is my mother tongue. Magadhi is my mother tongue. I was able to speak Sanskrit, read and write and speak Sanskrit, but I haven't practiced it for a while, so I need to get back into that. And I can understand Punjabi. I can't speak it very well, but I can understand Punjabi because I lived in Delhi for 10 years. So those are the languages that I know. Sonu Narayan, seems like you're an Arsenal fan. Yes, I am. And this is why my life is full of sadness and despair and anger and more sadness. This is the life of an Arsenal fan. Life of an Arsenal fan is your mind becomes so sad. Your life is full of so much sadness and so much despair that nothing affects you. So I guess that's one positive thing about being an Arsenal fan. Web of Sharma, what fitness routine do you follow? Oh God. The thing about the thing about fitness, Webov, is fitness is like 75% diet, 25% exercise. Okay, my diet is not the best. I'm trying to improve it. I'm trying very hard to improve it. It is not the best. I'm at fifth, like I'm at, let's say 0 is that my diet is horrible, 100 is my diet is fantastic. I'm at 50. So I'm trying to improve my diet, but in terms of exercises, what I do is I do a lot of yoga. I do weight training at the gym. I do 3 days of weight training, 3 days of yoga every week. And I also am going to learn, I've been meaning to learn a combat sport for a while, some kind of fighting sport. So I'm starting jiu-jitsu because there's a really good jiu-jitsu gym not very far away from where I live. And I saw it on the way back home from somewhere one time, and I said, look at that jiu-jitsu gym. And I've been meaning to learn a combat sports for a while, so I'm going to be starting that soon as well. So hopefully that's going to be fun. So I'm really looking forward to starting that. Okay. Akanksha Singh didn't get a response for even a single question. I'm sorry, Akanksha. Like I said before, I'm not deliberately trying to ignore your questions. I will definitely try and take your questions as they come. So if you have a question, I see that you have a question, Akanksha, about the languages I can speak. So hopefully I just answered that for you. If you have any other questions, let me know. I'll try and take those as well. Will you be doing more live streams for general Q&A or suggestions? Definitely. 100%. That is my goal, Kramer Cosmo. That is my goal to do that. I'm going to try and do one live stream every week. And I'm going to try and do one Facebook live stream every week as well. So I'll do one Facebook live and I'll do one YouTube live because some people from Facebook can't come to YouTube or don't come to YouTube. So I'll do it for the Facebook group. And then some people on YouTube don't go to Facebook. So I'll do it for the YouTube people. So I'm going to try and do one a week every week. So I hope that answers the question. Do a talk with Annie Cyrus. She's an ex-Muslim who ran away from Iran. There's so many ex-Muslims, man, that I want to talk to as well. So I'm going to be trying to reach out to all of those guys too. But I want to talk to some people about Hindu philosophy first. So I've spoken to a few ex-Muslims, but I want to talk to some people who work in Hindu philosophy as well, or who can educate me about Hindu philosophy. Somebody like Bhaskar, somebody like Rajiv Dikshit, somebody like Pushpendra Kulshestra, somebody like that. So I want to talk to some of those people first. I think you should interact with Rajiv Malhotra, Abhay Dobaria. Definitely, Abhay. I have actually reached out to Rajiv ji about it, but he hasn't got back to me yet. So hopefully one day he can get back to me and we can have a conversation together. Need your free speech first. Thank you very much, Free Speech First, for your super chat. Really, really appreciate it. And I completely agree with you if I think what you mean when you say free speech first, because I completely agree with free speech. All right. I see. Kaushik Sunil Mohanty, thanks again for the super chat, and thanks for letting me know Akanksha's question. Why is it that liberals are negative most often, right wings are not, and right wings are always so logical? What are your views on this? So I don't think right wing is always logical. Some people say that we need to kill all Muslims. Some people say that we need to get rid of all the Muslims from this country. Are kahan jayenge? Where will they go? This is their country. India is their country. They were born in India. India is their motherland. Where will they go? So some people say that. Some right-wingers also say that people should be thrown in jail if they make fun of Lord Ram. अगर किसी ने भगवान राम के खिलाफ मजाक उड़ाया, अगर किसी ने गणेश का मजाक उड़ाया, अगर किसी ने शिव जी का मजाक उड़ाया, अगर किसी ने हिंदुइज्म का मजाक उड़ाया तो उसे जेल में डाल देना चाहिए. अगर किसी ने भगवान शिव का मजाक उड़ाया तो उसको मार देना चाहिए. Some people say that. That's also very stupid. I don't agree with that at all. That's not our culture. We don't kill people for making fun of our gods. We don't kill people for questioning our culture. जो लोग हमारे कल्चर में सवाल पूछते हैं, जो लोग हमारे कल्चर में क्वेश्चन करते हैं, हम तो उनको महात्मा बना देते हैं भाई. आप भगवान महावीर को देखिए, आप भगवान बुद्ध को देखिए. We make people saints that question our culture. We are completely comfortable. Hindus and Hinduism is completely comfortable with questioning itself. So there are some things that right-wingers do that I don't agree with at all. But problem kya hai na ki most of this nonsense comes from liberals these days, comes from the left wing these days. वो पगला गए हैं बिल्कुल, दिमाग खराब हो गया उनका. Everything is racism, everything is fascism, everything is Hindu chauvinism, everything is Hindu fascism, everything is patriarchy. It's hard to have a conversation with them sometimes because they will never accept. One other thing that is good about the right wing, in my opinion, if you can call it the right wing, India doesn't really have a right wing, but if you can call it the non-left wing, one good thing about the non-left wing is that there are people within the non-left wing that are happy to question, themselves, that are happy to ask themselves questions. लेफ्ट विंगर्स के साथ क्या है ना, लेफ्ट विंगर्स के साथ बिल्कुल उम्मा मेंटालिटी है, इस्लामिक मेंटालिटी है, एब्राहमिक मेंटालिटी है. लेफ्ट विंगर एक, दे विल नॉट क्वेश्चन ईच अदर एट ऑल. भैया लेफ्ट विंग ने जो बोल दिया वो बोल दिया, कोई सवाल नहीं पूछ सकता आप. अगर आपने सवाल पूछा तो आपको लेफ्ट विंग से निकाल दिया जाएगा. यू विल बी थ्रोन आउट ऑफ द क्लब. That is the current problem with the left wing, that the left wing has become Abrahamic. They are behaving like an Abrahamic cult. So that is why most of the problems are coming from them today, and that is why we need to ask them the questions. And I hope, Akanksha, that answers your question, and thank you, Kaushik, for bringing that question to my notice. Kaushik, Sunil Mohanty, you're stealing the show, bro. That's true. This is from Raghavar Voltor. He's absolutely right. Kaushik is, Kaushik is really on point. Ayush Mandolia, where do you live? I live in the United States, Ayush. Okay. What else do we have here? Let's see. Rahul Wavedekar. Rahul Wavedekar. I hope I said that last name correctly, Rahul. Thanks again for this, Kaushik. How can the situation of Kerala, dropping population of Hindus, be addressed? I mean, there was an interesting thing I saw on Upward. Upward is this, like, it's another YouTube channel, and they have the Twitter handle where I saw something. Let me see if I can find it. It was a very interesting statistic that I saw. It was, where is it? Yeah. In 2017, 27% Muslims produced 43% children in Kerala, which is the most literate state in India. So this was a very interesting statistic that I did not know about, but it makes sense. If you actually look at it, it makes sense. So when you look at a statistic like that, where 27% of the people are producing 90% of the, 43% of the, children, it makes you think that there is some attempt to outbreed the Hindus. There is some attempt to overpopulate or just outpopulate the Hindus. So I think in that case, some sort of a population law is probably required. I think we're at a stage. I mean, generally we've been looking at, if you look at the long-term trends, if you look at the century-long trend, there is a trend in India that the population of India is going to plateau or stabilize around 2045. 2045, 2050, 2060, around that time, the population of India is going to stabilize. And most of the growth of the population of the world is going to come from Africa. And Asia is more or less going to stabilize around 2040 to 2060. So in a not too distant future, the population of India should stabilize. Hindu, Muslim, Christian, all of it should stabilize. But the problem is, in the meantime, there is still 20, 30 years, 40 years before that can happen. So a lot of children can be produced in 20 to 30 to 40 years. And so I feel like maybe some kind of a population law is probably a good idea. It could probably be warranted, particularly in a country like India. We are 1/3 the size of the United States in terms of land mass, but we have 4 times or 3 times the size of the population of the United States. 4 times, I think, the size of the population of the United States. So India is a very heavily overpopulated country. So we need to fix that situation. And we need to do something to fix that situation. And I think a population law might be necessary, because we are already seeing what happens to people in states where they are a minority. We've already seen what happened to the people of Kashmir, to the Hindus of Kashmir. We are seeing what is happening to people in the northeast regions where Hindus are in a minority. And so we are seeing already what's happening to people in Kerala, where Hindus are shrinking in size. So I don't think we'll be able to stop Hindus from becoming a minority in Kerala because it's going to happen very soon. At least that's what I think. But hopefully, we can address this with some kind of a law. Again, that's something that if people want the government to pay attention to things like this, you need to contact the government. You need to contact your MP. You need to talk to your MP, call them, message them, go to their office, tell them, we need this law. If MPs around India are going to hear from people कि यार मेरे को रोज लोग फोन करते रहते हैं, मेरे को रोज लोग कांटेक्ट करते रहते हैं पूरे इंडिया में कि यार आप लॉ क्यों नहीं बना रहे, आप लॉ क्यों नहीं बना रहे, then they will feel pressured कि भाई हमें करना पड़ेगा, we'll have to go make a law. So if we need anything done, I feel like that's the best way to approach it. Karthik Morabad, thank you very much, Karthik. I appreciate it. I really, really appreciate the super chat. Thank you. Kaushik, another question from Manish KHC. How to build a right-wing ecosystem? What advice would you give to a common man who wants to support your narrative? Well, look, we talk about this very openly. I talk about this very openly, and Kushal Mehra and I, we do a podcast on Op India, on the Op India YouTube channel. We're going to be doing it tomorrow, so you can come watch. We talk about this very openly, that look, to build a right-wing ecosystem, you need to support the people that are doing the work in this ecosystem. For example, if you are a Twitter person, if you're a Twitter personality, if you're a social media personality with a big following, then share the videos that people like me, people like Open Letter, people like Aaj Ki Taza Khabar, share the videos, share the content that these people are making. Because you have a huge audience, you have a huge reach. If you share these videos, then these videos are going to get traction, and these videos then will gain the same kind of audience that the left-wingers have. Because if you look at Rathi's videos, his videos get shared by people like Prashant Bhushan, his videos get shared by people like Javed Akhtar, his videos get shared by people like Arvind Kejriwal. If somebody like Arvind Kejriwal with such a large following is sharing your videos, then your videos will be very easy to discover. So that's what you need to do. So one thing, if you have influence, share the videos that the right-wing people are making. That's how you develop an ecosystem. Secondly, financial aid. You have to support these initiatives with money. People who are working in the right-wing ecosystem part-time will not make a difference. I am working in this stuff part-time. I am doing this part-time. I do this in the morning, then I go do my work. So people that are working in this system, a lot of the people that are working in the left-wing system are doing it full-time. Full-time काम कर रहे हैं इसमें. So if you want these things to succeed, if you want a right-wing ecosystem to be built, if you want to support the right-wing ecosystem, and it sounds very facetious coming from a person who's actually making the content, but you have to monetarily support these initiatives. So if you can't, that's fine. I'm not saying that everybody, abhi kya bhi. If you can't, that's fine. I'm just happy that you guys come and watch my videos. I'm just happy that you guys come and participate in the live chat when I do the live streams. I'm just happy that you guys are here right now asking these questions. I'm happy with that. But I'm just saying, to make sure that this right-wing ecosystem develops and it is a professional organization, we need to make sure that people are involved in this full time. And for people to be involved in this full time, they need to be making enough money that they can quit their day job and they can work here full time. So financial support to these people, whether it's me, whether it's Open Letter, whether it's Aaj Ki Taza Khabar, whether it's anybody, Fact Hunt, whether it's anybody who's trying to do work in this area, support them financially. That is how you can best help them. That is the best help you can give these guys. Make sure that these guys can become full-time. Make sure that these guys can leave their jobs and do this full-time so they can do the best job that they can. That's the best thing you guys can do. That's, again, my opinion. If you can't support financially, look, again, like I said, I'm just happy you're here, man. I'm just happy you come and watch my videos every week. I'm just happy you come and interact with me in the super chat, in the live chat. I mean, I'm just happy about that. Nupur Tiwari, future plans, planning to join research or academia. I would like to eventually write a book about Indian philosophy. I would one day in the future, but I don't. But I still have a lot of education to go to learn fully about Indian philosophy. One day I would love to teach meditation, meditation infused with Indian philosophy, Hindu philosophy, to a global audience. That is what I would like to do eventually. Teach the global audience about Indian philosophy. Teach the global audience about what Hindu philosophy is, what pagan philosophy is. That is what I would like to do in the future, for sure. Where's Ayush Mandolia? What are your views on US politicians versus Indian politicians' mindset? Do you think our politicians need to grow mentally? Little bit, I think. I mean, our media needs to grow mentally. Our media loves masala. Even the US media loves masala, but our media loves masala. I mean, if you look at the Hindi news channels, they're ridiculous. They're absolutely ridiculous. You look at some of the panel discussions that happen on Republic, on Times Now, absolutely ridiculous. Very immature. There's no conversation happening. There's just people screaming at each other. 10 people in one room screaming at each other. That's it. So media needs to mature. Politicians need to mature. Discourse needs to mature. There needs to be serious discourse. In American media is also very biased. American media is also very tricky. American media is also very dishonest. But a lot of the media can still have very serious discussions. Are still open to having very serious discussions. So that's something that I really like about or appreciate, let's say, about American media, that they're at least willing to have serious discussions. And that's, I think, the same thing about politicians, that we need to have some serious discussions in India about a lot of things, particularly about the relationship between Islam and other culture, the relationship between Christianity and other cultures, the relationship between the Hindu community and the Muslim community. What needs to happen to ensure proper truth and reconciliation between the Hindu community and the Muslim community? What needs to happen to stop the crazy population growth that we've been seeing for the past few decades? We cannot go populating the country like this. We don't have resources to feed so many people. We're going to run out of resources at this point. We're destroying the country with climate change. So lots of discussions that we need to have that I think politicians need to come out and honestly discuss with. So, Bhai, please watch videos of Rajit Dixit. I will definitely do that. I've written down Rajit Dixit's name here as someone that I'd like to invite to the chat as well. So yeah, so definitely I'd love to do that as well. I'll go check out his videos after this. So guys, I've been online for about an hour and a half, close to now. And I know you still have a ton of questions that you might want to ask, but I have to run and I have to record an episode, then I have to run for work after this. But I'm gonna try and do one of these live streams every week. Oh, that's my idiot cat. I have to run now, but I'm gonna try and do these every week. Collab with FMF. I will definitely try to. FMF, I really enjoy FMF's content, and I will definitely will. What happened to your chat with Jimmy that you promised? Jimmy has been very busy. Jimmy and I have been trying to figure out a schedule where we can actually get on a proper chat. But I will definitely try and do these more often. I will definitely come back and do this. Let's set another date for Thursday at around this time as well. And we'll come and do another one. Wow, we've 2 super chats that came in recently. One from Jehan Motashaw. Jehan is asking, congrats on 100K. What is your opinion on the latest Google censorship by Project Veritas? Thoughts on breaking the monopoly of big tech? Also, did you see the circus that was the Democrat debates? I did see this. I did see the Democrat debates. They were interesting, man. They were interesting. I mean, my favorite part of the debate was when people randomly started speaking in Spanish. Like, we get it. You know Spanish. We get it. It's way too obvious. Please don't do that. And I was really sad, Jehan. I have to be honest. I was really sad that what I really wanted to happen during the Democratic debates was I just wanted Trump to live tweet during the Democratic debates and give all the candidates a silly nickname. That's what I really wanted to happen. But sadly, that didn't happen. I was very sad that Trump did not give all those people silly nicknames. But hey, what can you say? And about Google censorship by Project Veritas, obviously is wrong. It's a very worrying trend, particularly for content creators like me. I'm still a very small content creator. There are bigger content creators on sort of the right side of the aisle that might be heavily affected by this. I mean, in fact, Dave Rubin has done a pretty good show about it recently as well, about how his channel has been affected from this whole Google censorship. So I'm going to be doing a detailed episode on this with Kushal Mehra in the future. So Jehan, you should come and join us for that. I'll be talking about this in a lot more detail with him about it. So make sure to come and join us next week for that, Jehan, because I'll definitely be doing an episode with him. All right, guys, I have to run now, but thank you very much for doing the show, joining me today. Thank you very much for your questions. Thank you very much for your super chats. Really, really appreciate the support. Really, really do. I will see you guys next week. Let's do another live stream next week. It's really fun talking to you guys. It's really fun answering your questions. So let's do another one next week. And until then, make sure if you're not subscribed to the Sham Sharma Show channel, subscribe. Bring your friends. दोस्तों को जाके बताओ कि अरे यार एक channel है, आओ देखो, subscribe करो. Tell your friends, get them subscribed to the channel as well. I'll see you for the next one, next Thursday. And until then, stay happy, stay healthy, and I'll see you soon.